Hey there, flawless family. It is I, Tierra around Tidewater, Tierra the broker, owner, property manager of Walker One Property Group, back for another episode of Home Buyer and Seller Tips with Tierra, and of course,
Diane Stein with Southern Trust Mortgage. So today I'm going to start and do the lead on this and ask Tierra a bunch of questions because she is the expert on the rental market. Her property management is fantastic and she just knows all the numbers. I've had a lot of people come up to me recently, current renters, investors that are renting out their properties, asking me a lot of questions about what I think is getting ready to happen with the rental market. Same as sellers have been recently. People are renting their houses. They've had renters just jumping on them and they can charge whatever rent they want. So I really wanted to get Tierra's take on, what 2022 looked like in comparison to what we think is going to be projected for 2023. So compared to values, the values of the rentals, if you're from an investment standpoint and from a renter standpoint, what were those values in 2023 based and compared to what they are right now for 2023?
Well, you know what, really, this has to kind of go back. We have to go back a couple of years on this because a lot of our talks that we have, we always, obviously are talking about the home sales market, and all of that stuff kind of directly connects because obviously everyone needs shelter. So you figure that leading into the pandemic, what ended up happening was during that time, lots and lots of landlords were unable to either collect or evict. Okay, so a lot of times people forget that. So basically, during that time with so many Americans unemployed or unable to maintain their rents, coming out of that in the recovery process, a lot of landlords, especially I know with our company, we did not increase at all between 2020 and 2022. As a matter of fact, we just started doing increases in the last year, in 2022. So from 2020 to 2022, on average, most rentals will increase between $50, depending on your market, between $50 and $150 per year. So in a homeowner or landlord's mind, that was a loss of unrealized gain of anywhere from $100 to $300 over that 2-year period. So of course, in recovering, a lot of landlords not only have buckled down on their requirements because it taught them a lot about themselves and their own management of their properties once they had to maintain both mortgages as a result of, in certain cases, people being unable to pay their rent. So that's the first effect of the increases, is that we were unable to pretty much increase or evict for 2 years. Now, for our specific companies, we didn't have any evictions at that time. And we didn't even have more than 3 missed rent payments at all. So one of the reasons that we specialize in professional loving care is because we actually are proactive in the way that we manage. So not only did we immediately start sending the information directly to tenants for that time which had rent relief, but we would actually reach out to tenants that fell behind or were late on rent, that were standardly not late on rent, and ask them and then assist them in applying for that program so that our landlords nor the tenants had to suffer an eviction and the landlords didn't have to suffer a loss of income. Everybody was happy. So we stayed active in and on top of our rentals during that time to ensure, because that's our job, is to keep our landlords profitable and to keep our tenants happy and safe and secure. So that's what we did, and we take that serious. But you figure lots of companies without such good management or single landlords that had lower price rentals, because the reality is that our company also does not really focus. We're in a more mid price range to luxury price range. So there's a difference in qualifying tenants as well with that, because if you have people that have basic retail jobs, Walmart, Family Dollar, Dollar General, which all and everyone deserves fair, safe, and secure housing, then you would have had to deal with different types of situations. So I don't want to make it specifically about our company because of the quality of rentals and the price range of rentals that we actually manage. But I do know that landlords learned quite a lot during the pandemic about managing their properties, qualifying tenants, and ensuring that they stay in contact. A lot of times, landlords, you don't talk to your tenants. We're not going to talk to the tenants. There's nothing to communicate for. However, as you are watching the market as an investor, the first thing you want to do is check in on your people, because you can't sit and watch them fall behind and not check and find out what the issue is. And it doesn't always have to start off negatively, because if you and the person work towards a solution together, you might actually come out better and with less damages on the property, because you never know a person's temperament when they're in survival mode, So that's the first thing so I would say the average values nationwide are $2,000 a month. Nationwide average values, which is a stark comparison to $1,400 just 3 years ago. So the average values on a 1 to 2 bed in America is $2,000 per month. That's the average value. And here in our market, the average value for a single family home that is a 2-bed is $1,500 to $1,700. And that's a single family home. Now, if you are in an apartment complex, if you're in an apartment unit or a duplex unit, you may be able to find units still under $1,000. But it is extremely rare, and it's going to be on a neighborhood and case-by-case basis. And then you figure that as you're getting into the higher bedroom counts, you are going well above $2,000. So we do have majority of our 3 to 4 bedrooms are priced somewhere between $1,800 and $2,050. That's for a 3-bedroom. And so most of our 4 bedrooms at this point are $2,000 or $1,950 and up. So, and that is based on the current values in the market. I will say that we have one property right now that we rented a year ago for $1,650, and it's today back on market with that tenant. Congratulations to her. She purchased the home. She moved out. We're renting that now for $1,950. And that's based on the neighborhood rental comparables of a 4-bed, 2 full-bed in the city of Norfolk. And it's beautiful too. So check our website. But the point is that things have changed. What I will say though, Diane, is that we're seeing a steadying.
We're seeing it steadying.
Yes, we're seeing it steadying. So basically,
because it was shooting up really fast,
right? And the reason for that stark increase, I'm telling you, it was all because for 2 years, landlords recognize or can see the unrealized gain of the $200 to $300, and depending on the market, it could be up to $600 that they lost, or in their minds lost unrealized gains. That's what that is. It's monopoly money. So it's almost like, this is what I have if I make it, but if I don't, then it's unrealized. So a lot of landlords nationwide saw that they were unable. And then here's the other thing too. Keep in mind, like I said, with the people having damages and evictions, you have to charge more in order to recover your mortgage. So if you've been paying your own mortgage for 6 or 7 months, in the eviction process, depending on the company, the landlord, and the way that notices have went out, because I went to file an eviction the other day. Yes, oh my gosh, I had to file an eviction. And in the city of Portsmouth, I filed that eviction on January 18th. The scheduled date for hearing is March 6th. And when
that's another thing people are saying to be behind. Courts are behind. The sheriff's departments are behind. Everything is behind.
Well, here's what I want to say. I said that to the court, and I'm not going to call out the city, but I said that to the court, and they fussed me out, told me they are not behind, told me I need to check my stats, told me that in that particular city that they're averaging 500 to 1,000 filings per day.
It's a lot.
So what I'm trying to tell you guys is that
they're behind because there's so many more filings and more evictions, not because they're not doing their job.
Right. So they're not behind. There are so many evictions being filed. However, that's what I'm saying about the steadying of the market, meaning that we are still seeing where landlords are just getting people out that weren't paying during the pandemic, the late period of 2021 and early 2022. Okay. Or here's the other thing: people that got rent relief all the way through 2022, and then the landlord, anticipating them paying, allowed them to stay further beyond that point, and now they're just being cast out of these places that they haven't been paying for 6 months to a year now. So you figure that all of those landlords and all those new properties that will be coming back on market for sure will have that 30 to 40% increase on value when they come back to the market, because guess what? For a lot of these properties, they're going to have to be rehabbed. They're going to have to be updated. They're going to have to be repainted. And all the costs for every repair has increased. So in order for investors to realize their true gains, they're going to have to raise rents. However, the amount or the value of the rents is going to level off here. I believe that we're not going to see such a stark increase and not in 2022 or 2021. I think that we're going to see it leveling off, where right now, like I said, the national average is about $2,000 on a 1 to 2 bedroom. And I feel like that we're going to stay in that range between $2,000 and $2,200, or here in our market, anywhere between $1,200 to about $1,700 for 1 to 2 bedrooms. I think we'll stay there for the duration of the year because lots more rentals are coming available. And landlords do know that they can get that value now, that 30 to 40% increase.
Well, so you've gone over a lot of the reasons why we've seen all those increases. Is there any other reason why you think there might be any increases, or is that the main one?
I think that is the main one. I think it's a combination of that, and then as we know, we had touched on a couple of weeks ago how so many of the larger big banks are purchasing up properties for rental. The reason is, like we were talking about in our last episode, make sure you go back and check out that FHLB. Tell them what that is.
Oh, Federal Home Loan Bank. It is a grant program. So for first-time home buyers and community partners.
Right. So make sure you go back and look at our episode from 2 weeks ago to ensure that you know about that program. But one of the things that we were touching on during that episode was the fact that the market is still a strong seller's market, right? And there is less than a million properties on market for the entire country. So
those people still need to rent because they have sometimes it's a hard time finding a house on the market for them.
Right, and
inventory is still low.
And people are going to need to rent. People are going to need to rent. That's why banks and investors are doubling down on the rentals. Now, can I anticipate and see that I would see a higher increase in rentals in 2024 through 2025? Yes. But for right now, let's focus on 2023. Okay?
So what do you see not just for renters, but also for investors? So when I'm hearing you talk about it, so if investors just went through this influx of now they're having all these evictions, they have rent relief and all this other stuff, are investors looking for people with a higher credit score? Are they looking for, like, as far as pets go, like all these things? Are investors going to be more not specific, but more particular about who they rent to now?
You know what? I think that
this is what renters should expect.
Right.
Yeah.
You know what? I think that as a renter, you should always anticipate that most companies are going to be looking at you earning 3 times the rent. Okay. Now I know with our specific company, that is not how we weigh it. Meaning, and let me tell you what I mean by that, is that yes, we do want you to make 3 times the rent, but not as an individual. We want you to make 3 times the rent collectively. And as an individual renter, depending on the price point, we're somewhere between 2 and 3 times the rent, depending on your other liabilities that are shown when we do your background. So you figure that we're not always looking for that, but collectively, a lot of companies are looking for you individually. So a married couple individually to both make 3 times the rent. So that is one of the hardest challenges of renting for renters. That's the reason why, one of the reasons that we are so strong in our property management is to give people fair opportunities to have great housing. So you figure that that's one of the things. The other thing is that with our company, we don't need everyone to have great credit. The reason we do that is because we know that the smart thing to do when you're growing and especially when you're looking towards owning at some point, is to leverage each other's credit. So in couples, if I have one person with a low credit but another person with a high or mid credit, I can take that. Can I take both of you with bad credit? Absolutely not. Other companies are going to look at both tenants, potential applicants, or multi-applicants having. Some companies will look as low as a 580. Other companies will look as high and request as high as a 620 as their minimum credit score. But this is the thing. And I just want to say this. This is for my investors. It's really about character. And it's about actually really truly interviewing your potential applicants. Getting to know them, And I don't mean taking them out to dinner, but I mean actually, even if you're managing your place yourself, have an open house. It is my number one key to actually weighing in on who the people are, in which we'll be renting to. So I always require, even if another agent actually secures our tenant for us, that they have to come to the office to bring their security deposit before they're able to move in. Because I want to gauge their character. You cannot find out everything from paper. You just can't. And so in interviewing the people, hearing their story, actually speaking with them, and starting off with professional loving care, it will go so much further in having people value where they live. Another thing is investors. It's always, it's like, it's just about treating people how you want to be treated. And I'm telling you, for us, that has been the key way that we've been able to be so successful in property management, is that we're not looking to get over or to just have people pay their rent but not do repairs. We're not looking, people can reach us. We're easily reachable, we're easily findable, and we're easily able to communicate with no matter what these families are going through, because we're a part of their family's goals. So I think those are some of the things, is that the compassion, the professional, of course you're going to do your background checks. Do I think investors will be more stringent? Of course, at first. But at the end of the day, people need houses, so not really. I really don't think so. I think that as individuals, do I think that individuals managing their apartments are much harder than they were back, like people always call it, do you have a private owner? Well, private owners have access to background checks now too. And if they're a smart private owner, they're definitely not moving forward, even if their lease is not as professional as what we may provide you as a company. Trust me, everything's available to a private owner to do the same things that I'm suggesting. It's nothing wrong with managing your own investment, especially when you just have one or two. Keep that money. We can catch you when you get 3 or 4. You come holler at us when you get 3 or 4. Maybe we'll help you with 1. We would love to help you with 4, So that's fine. Keep your money and grow your goals. But do I see that investors and landlords will be a lot tougher? Yes. Especially because I have a colleague. And I tell you about this all the time. I have a colleague who, his experience has always been, he has at least 5 to 7 evictions per year. And standardly, even before the pandemic, he would charge people 1 to 3 security deposits because of his previous experience and his loss of landlords. But you know what? I boil it all down to character and how you treat people. Because the reality is that when you treat people harshly, and you treat them like you don't value where they may be living, and I'm not even talking about repairs, I'm talking about the way that you treat people who have earned the right, meaning that you may not be ready to buy a home, okay? But if you can afford $1,800 for a living space, you deserve respect. If you can afford $1,100 for a living space, you deserve respect. If you can afford $700 for a living space, you deserve respect. You pay that rent on time. When you call, you should get an answer. You should get a return call within 72 hours. And so I'm talking to investors and landlords too. Be respectful of your tenants, and you will see your money grow so much more over time. And they will also refer people to rent your place when they leave. I have so many tenants that as they're moving out and reaching their goals, they refer us to new tenants. Why? Because we treated them good. So everything boils down to that.
I think it's all great information. Tierra does a wonderful job in property management. It's one of her strongest things, and she's just great at it.
I love it.
So I know they're great people.
I do love it.
Yeah, she loves the people. You're a people person, so that's what's great about it.
Great.
So I think we talked a lot about rentals today. Got a lot of great information. If you need to know anything else, please reach out to Tierra. We'd love to talk to you. And on that same note too, if you're affording $1,800 a month in rent and you're at a third of your income, if you're at 3 times your income, I need to talk to you anyway, because see if you can get pre-qualified to purchase too.
Absolutely.
So,
and that's the thing.
Yeah.
That's the thing, is that Diane and I are here to help.
Exactly.
Of course,
in whatever arena you need.
Right, because Walker One Property Group is a residential full-service real estate firm. So, of course, we would love to help you buy first. We would love to bring you over to Diane, have her to assist you, and let's get you in a home, okay? And the reality is that you can work with us through the whole process. You can work with us from rentals all the way to home ownership with no issue. And we're here to help. I love my girl. We work together. We do these things together with purpose and intention to help inform and empower you to reach your real estate goals no matter what they are. For investors, we're here. We actually, on our website, walkeronepropertygrp.com, there is a section there that says investors, get on our list. We have foreclosure searches. We have tons of searches available on the website, and you can get on our list to find new investment opportunities as they present themselves, especially multifamilies if you're interested in growing your portfolio or starting your portfolio, and for potential home buyers and renters that are planning to buy within the next 12 to 18 months. Please, please, please come out. It's only about a week away now. Please come out to our home buyer open house, okay? Here in our offices at Walker One Property Group. We're in the heart of Norfolk, Janet Office Building, 3rd floor, Saturday, February 18th from 2 to 5 p.m. Myself, Diane, our agents, Tamika Dixon, and Candace West will be in the building, but most importantly, tell them the rest.
Most importantly, the food part. Yes, we were going to have it catered. There's going to be great food here. It's going to be wonderful. Yes, Shawanda's bringing some awesome food.
Awesome food, catered by the crib, baby. And you know what? We got soul food in the building. Kids and families are welcome 2 to 5 p.m. Saturday, February 18th. Please like and subscribe to our channel, you guys, for all the information that we'll be sharing every 2 weeks. Home buyer and seller tips with Tierra and Diane. Thank you so much for joining. Love you guys.
Love you guys.